Today we have the OnePlus One and Zenfone 2 with us for comparison. Now the OnePlus One is one of the best value for money devices out there even after a year, but we're gonna see the Zenfone 2 offers as much value. So let's get on it. When it comes to build quality, I prefer the sleek OnePlus One. It has well positioned power and volume buttons, and the down facing speakers are a treat. The matte black finish is really nice, and while it seems like it scratches easily, they're easily wiped off. In comparison, the Zenfone 2 is a bit thicker. We have it here with the case, and without the case though it's only slightly thicker than the OnePlus One. The biggest drawback for me are the volume buttons in the back and the power button on top. I mean, if you have this case on, it obstructs the volume buttons, which makes things annoying. Though this isn't going to bother you as much if you don't have a case on. I didn't mind the power button on top as the double tap to wake solves that issue. In comparison, the OnePlus One buttons are well placed and easy to reach, and overall, while the design of Zenfone 2 is nice, barring the placement of the volume buttons, I preferred the design of the OnePlus One. Coming to the display, both phones have 1080p IPS displays, and with that comes really good colors, but if I had to nitpick, I'd say the colors on the Zenfone 2 are slightly better. Also, when comparing the viewing angles, again, I felt the colors on the Zenfone 2 shifted lesser than on the OnePlus One, but these differences aren't all that much, really. I found that both phones were equally bright and so much that you're not really going to have any problem using them outdoors, which I think should be the takeaway. Coming to the camera performance, the daylight performance is equally good on both, though the Zenfone 2 has white balance issues in auto mode, which can be bothersome. On the other hand, the Zenfone 2 is capable of focusing on targets closer than the OnePlus One, and when it comes to detail, the Zenfone 2 is definitely capable of capturing better details. Like this shot of the mousepad, where the braiding is really clear on the Zenfone 2, while it's not as detailed on the OnePlus One. Low light performance is also another area where the Zenfone 2 is clearly better. There is a lot more detail and much lesser noise than the shot from the OnePlus One. And finally, in low light shots with flash, both cameras performed just average, but the Zenfone 2 was a bit better in comparison. Overall, the Zenfone 2 is a great camera with some white balance issues, and the OnePlus One is decent, but it can't compare to the Zenfone 2 in detail or low light performance. Coming to day-to-day performance, both phones were smooth under all operations, and while the Zenfone 2 comes with two options, that is 2GB RAM or 4GB RAM, the OnePlus One comes with 3GB RAM. And while I haven't really faced a shortage of RAM on either phones, running enough apps on the Zenfone will bring it to lower than 500MB free, so the 4GB option might not be a bad idea. I preferred the UI in the OnePlus One, which is pretty much plain Android with some customization options. It doesn't have bloat and it gets updates quite fast. It also has incredible support from the community as well for those who love tinkering with their phones. The Zenfone 2 on the other hand runs the Zen UI. I wasn't a big fan of the big and light colored icons, but some might find it pleasing on the eyes. It had some useful features like the interruption features and the display saturation adjustment among others. But the biggest problem I had with the phone was the amount of preloaded apps which most people won't use, and these can't be removed without rooting your phone. Coming to the call quality, I found that both had decent call quality and I didn't have a problem on either, though the one thing that should be mentioned is the Zenfone 2 offers dual SIM support if you need that kind of a function, which the OnePlus One does not. The speaker quality was a clear win for the OnePlus One as it was much louder and clearer than the Zenfone 2, which was actually pretty much feeble. Coming to battery life, both phones easily lasted a day under normal usage, though the OnePlus One lasts a bit longer in our battery tests with its 3100 mAh battery over the 3000 mAh battery of the Zenfone 2. Also, it should be noted that both phones come with non-removable batteries, so for those of you who like to carry a spare battery are out of luck. The Zenfone 2 and OnePlus One come in a variety of storage options. For most part, the Zenfone 2 options are much cheaper than the OnePlus One, and for those of you who want the additional storage, the Zenfone 2 offers a microSD slot, which the OnePlus One does not. Overall, I personally feel the Zenfone 2 is a great smartphone for the price. Does it offer better value than the OnePlus One? In my opinion, it does, especially if you don't mind the Zen UI, and I personally like the Zenfone 2 camera better. Also, the added microSD card slot is a welcome advantage. Though for those of you who don't really care too much about the camera and prefer a clean UI and better battery life, you'd probably prefer the OnePlus One, though it does come at a higher price tag. With that, we wrap the comparison, so let us know which phone you'd go for in the comment section below, And as usual, thanks for watching.